This is your government video. It goes along with your How a Bill Becomes a Law worksheet. This worksheet is part 5 in a worksheet video, and this one is about presidential actions on legislation. So on your worksheet, we just talked about how once the bill has been sent to the president has options. So the two obvious options on the bottom left-hand side of your worksheet, you can write in that the president can sign the bill into law. When he does that, it goes to the executive branch of the department that's going to be in charge of executing that law or enforcing it. On the right-hand side in that bubble, the president also has the right to veto the law. A veto means he's going to cancel it and send it back to Congress. Remember, if he does this, Congress also has the ability to override a presidential veto. However, it takes 2/3 vote of both chambers of Congress, which is typically a pretty high bar to reach, and you would generally need both Republicans and Democrats to override a presidential veto. So the options are to sign it and it becomes law and it starts to be enforced by the executive branch, or he can veto the bill fully. There's a third option in the Constitution which allows the president to ignore the bill for a maximum of 10 days. So once a bill is received by the president from Congress, he has 10 business days to determine if he wants to sign or veto it. If he chooses to ignore it, if on day 10 Congress is still in session, then on day 10 the bill would automatically become law. However, if Congress is adjourned and no longer in session at the end of 10 days, then it's an automatic veto. Ignoring the bill for these 10 days are kind of a low-level way or a down-low way of having a president either make the law automatically become law without him having to put his name on it, or without him having to do some type of public veto. So on your worksheet, you do have a maximum of 10 days, which can lead to a pocket veto or an automatic pass into law if Congress is in session. This is how a bill becomes a law. At any moment here, a bill can be pigeonholed. It can be placed on indefinite hold in the Senate. People can vote no on it. People can amend it to be completely different than what it was when it started. And of course, ultimately, one chamber or the president could say no. It is extremely difficult to get a law passed, and most bills do not come out of committee. Now you're going to do your next active learning. Active learning 2 will be on piece of paper. So in this one, we're going to do some compare and contrast. And these are just kind of explain questions that I want you to write out by hand. Why do you think Congress uses committees? What are some of the good and bad parts of those? Question number 2, how can committees make it difficult to get laws passed? So I want you to think like a politician, a contrarian, somebody who doesn't get along or have the same beliefs as other people you work with. How can committees make it really difficult to get laws passed? 3, how do different elections and term years affect the policymaking process? So we know that a law doesn't just get written and then go into committee and get voted on all within a couple of days. So elections, which are in 2, 4, or 6-year terms, can also affect how we make policy and how we pass laws. Think about the good and bad parts to that. And question number 4, I want you to name 3 things or 3 ways political partisanship and ideologies and political parties can make it difficult to pass a law.